I'm recording. Yes, you can call me Mr. MD. I have returned. Your therapist may ask you if I am in the room. You can tell him yes now. No, it stands for my legal initials that no one will ever find. Matt Dick. Nah, bro. Always a crossover. Oh no, I love these font sizes. I can narrate if you want. All right. Are you ready, gentlemen? 3, 2, 1. It is a draw. Paper. 3, 2, 1. And here, at the end of our trial by single unarmed rock, paper, scissors, Equinox has won. Alright, so we have the narrator and Blade Randy. Is there anybody else we need? Or will we come to those as we find them? Alright, I'll assume you know who to take over after that, Sergio, since you wrote this. Okay. The year is 2069. The sun no longer shines. Elon Musk never did get us to Mars to usher in a golden age. Mega corporations like Amazon, Disney, LLC control large swaths of the United States under their overlord, Jeff Bezos. New advances in technology lead us to develop synthetic humanoids known as replicants, but some, once discovering their humanity, began to go rogue. In between government land and corporation-controlled territories such as Disneyland Midwest and Southwestern Fitness, Native American tribes rule supreme. In such a lawless and dark time when criminals run rampant and run through the shadows, only one man can save the world. Some may call him an outlaw, some may call him a replicant, but he is one thing at his core: a Blade Runner. Suddenly, we cut to our hero, the man, the myth, the legend, Randall Puff II. But you may know him better. He's officially a public figure. We're not in any legal trouble. You You may know him better as the legendary outlaw on the run from the Tyrell Corporation, the apprentice of Deckard, drinker of the Voss, and consistent whisperer. He is Blade Randy! On the cold streets of the cyberpunk... What were you gonna say? On the cold streets of the cyberpunk future of 2069, our handsome greaser-looking protagonist quickly moves through the streets of Detroit, looking for his mark. After going underground, he continued his services as a Blade Randy. Does that mean... Wait, are there multiple Blade Randys? Okay, tracking down rogue replicants, despite the fact that he was one himself. He hears a crackling in his ear, his comms device springing to life. Does that matter? Can you read? Randy spoke normally, but being that there was a problem with the mic gain, it was very hard to make out what he had said, but Zach understood nonetheless. I love how we fucked up the narrative entirely, and the person who was impossible to understand was the one we were supposed to understand. Alright, Jacob, try to make it legible this time. Randy whispered stoically. As he stood in front of the building, Zach described it, was what appeared to be an abandoned warehouse. Blade Randy exclaimed, unable to see anything in the darkness. But Blade Randy was ready for anything. He'd taken on the worst things this world had to offer, such as cybernetically enhanced Karens, legless men on the run, death-dealing Amazon packages, cyborg wage slaves whose minimum wage of 15 cyberpunk dollars powered their mechanical bodies, street degenerati on death sticks and wielding automated obsidian chainsaws stolen from Native American security forces. The list could go on for several hours. Randy heard shuffling using his blade hearing, and to his right, it was a chud. This absolute chud, thinking he could take out our guy, our hero Blade Randy. He charged at him with a knife, but Blade Randy was ready. He caught the degenerate by the wrist and crushed it with his blade strength. The unwashed scrub lord whined like a little bitch before Randy proceeded to lift him up into the air by his hand and slam him into the ground, shattering the man's skeleton like a boss. Blade Randy exclaimed, suddenly not speaking in font size 6 and grabbing him by the head and snapping it to finish him off. This prompted the very dim lights to come on, and suddenly more degenerates started flooding in, armed with pump-action SMGs and double-barreled shotguns that would have normally held 2 shells but could hold up to 74 shells! However, Blade Randy was faster than them and pulled out his signature weapon and began dropping chuds like it was raining, except the raindrops were filthy degens instead of little balls of water! One of them cried as his men scrambled for positions, but it was too late. Blade Randy was on the move. The intrepid team moved like Usain Bolt, but faster than Usain Bolt, as he weaved from cover to cover, firing shot after shot after shot into the hordes of mercs descending on him. Using his blade invisibility, he snuck up on a man wielding an AK-2047 and knocked out of the way before he could fire on him. Using a blade kick to smash the man's non-blade testiculars, he whipped out, not his dick, but another pistol which he had to pull to fire the slide back on the side and to insert a shotgun shell. The shotgun shell then blew the man's head off. No. You're clearly not read up. You're clearly not read up on the Blade Randy lore here. Yeah, you gotta catch up on the lore first. Sorry, Sweaty. So, So just to recap, Blade Randy has just slid back the slide on a pistol to insert a shotgun shell, blowing a chud. Yes. And then after blowing the man's head off, you hear the distinctive ping, like an M1 Garand, giving away his position to everyone. Sergio, didn't they already? Didn't Streetlights just? So he's been Blade Invisible this entire time. All right. A street degenerate grappled Randy from the back and picked him, which caused Randy to drop a Voss. Another nearby chud picked up the Voss and was like, tasty water, and drank its succulent fluid. But suddenly his head grew big and then exploded because it was poison and I said so. What the hell? The man screamed before Randy shot out an overhead light, making the already impossible to see area even more impossibler to see in before defeating him with another absurdist move. Probably used his blade telekinesis to make his spleen explode or something. And no. It wasn't long before most of the chuds were eliminated, the last one down on his knees. Randy yelled like Batman from The Dark Knight, only at a sound level of 2 decibels, imitating a mouse with a bad cough. Randy said, disheartened this very obvious lie had uttered from the chud's mouth lips. He'd never made a fan film in his life. He was a Blade Randy. But if someone were to make a movie about him, say a man by the name of Randall Poof, the second it would be the greatest movie of all time. In his opinion. Before you could question the man any farther, that's the wrong further, he bit into a cyanide capsule hidden in his teeth and died. Randy lamented, dropping his corpse like a useless rag doll in a bad Gmod animation from 2007. Now how was he supposed to get the information on the replicant he was after? An epic voice said from the shadows. Randy swirled around like a chocolate swirl ice cream cone and pointed his signature weapon at the darkness. He asked. Then a man walked out into the very poorly light illuminating the warehouse. He was dressed in a fine business suit like James Bond would wear and was just as handsome, but wasn't James Bond. Oh no. Well, let me put it in words you can understand. Isn't this oh yeah. Suddenly, before Blade Randy's eyes, the man transformed into a sickly gray-looking man with horns. Randy then proceeded to call Zack on his comms. Randy then pulled out a $5 bottle of Voss water from his inventory and drank it as an awkward silence lasted for an entire 60 seconds with no interruptions from either Michelle or the man on the comms. Randy asked Michael. Mike Freeney reached into his pocket and pulled out his Rick and Morty portal gun. He then opened up a dimensional gateway for the two of them. And thus Blade Randy and Michael Freeney ventured forth. They stepped forth into the portal, not knowing what they may encounter on the other side.
Both Randy and McFerdy emerged
On the other side of the
portal unharmed in what appeared to be a quite small dude.
Mikey Feed announced.
Randy asked stupidly, like a dum-dum.
Mike suggested. Renady and Mike decided to check Nerby House and knock nuke on the door 2 times, and out came Zahat's myelf, Mr. Diter. Renady was blown away by her massive bazongas and large bandadunki and her Angelina Julie Pooley looking face. Renati said, definitely aroused. That's you, Jacob. Freezy asked. She turned. Suddenly, our heroes heard a door open and were immediately blinded by pure awesomeness. It was him, the man, the meme, the myth, the legend, Dave Snyder, Pokemon trainer. Devia stepped down, thus stares coolly, and did a sick grindy thing on the rail thingy and arrived down in front of them. I can pull double duty as him if you want me to, or Michael can do it. I'm here, Mumther. What do you require of me? Devia said respectfully, as Duvie always respected the women. She said, walking away, her badonk-tonk-tonk, shaking and jiggling and bouncing on all beautifully as she left. She really do, though. Renati said as he pulled yet another bottle of Vows water from his inventory and took a swag. You drink that cack? You do know that Fiji water is much more tastier and refreshing? Duvy stated huomogusly. What is this greaser saying? I can hardly understand him. Randy took the megaphone and spoke into it and was able to speak in 11-point Arial font for the first time in his adult life. Is 2015 Doom Bowl? Are yous from the futures or something? Renday turned to Meckel for the answer. What do you need my ass tants with? I am in the booziness of 15 the boot gays. Duvy said like a true hero. Yes, this is 15 pages. We're only 30 minutes in though. Alright, next up is, I think, Mikkel. Mukelfrini. Blade Randy asked, being an uneducated screwblard from 2077 who never heard of Pokemon because it died in 2040 because of the failure. Because it died in 2040 because of failure of Pokemon Omega Heart, Sword, Silver, Sapphire, Gold, Ass Nugget. Let me show yous. Duve pulled out a poker blala and said the thing. Grandoon, I choose you. And out came a Grandoon. It almost to made Renetti shit his pants. Renetti squeaked into his microphone, which made him just sound like he was talking normally. Grandoon is my friend, and I can control him. We can defeat any enemy, especially if we can combine our abilities to defeat the Kumaris. A voice yelled from across the yard, but it wasn't 18 naked cowboys getting butt-fucked by Shawn Mendes deep, hard. It was a random lootnet of Team Bad. Oh no, it's Team's Bad. I thought I defeated them, Doofy said. Wait, you killed the cart? I don't understand, Standy. Doofy asked. Renati responded, not wanting to get demonetized onto YouTube. I think we've already been demonetized on YouTube like 5 different times in this, I'll be honest. Duvy understands and prepared for battle. So did Renetti, pulling out Pistola. The lieutenant said, as all of a sudden, 28 members of Team Bad started crashing through people's houses like it was GTA or something in their black Ford Raptor trucks. Mickelfreen. Mickelfruzi said, taking over and taking cover. Blood Renati said as he began shooting the helicopters down with his amazing pistol. No, stop, Maddie, you're killing him, Duvey said as he ordered Grunden to deal with trucks. A Groot said as Renati kneecapped the nearest member of Toombad and executed him by pressing F to activate the finisher move, which involved him kicking him in the wind, peep, and crushing his skull with his pinky. Let's see. Will's a goose nut. Groundoon tears out man ends the half, Divi called out, and Groundoon grabbed Sean by his butterboy booty waist and ripped him in half, sending his pieces to Minnesota, back where they belonged. And thus, Bald Renati and Dave Stedider foot awesomely and really coolly as they shot burned, riped, and ripped and tearing all the members of Team Bad so they would not fuck their butts. Deep, Renati's bullets went into the bodies of Mac the Whopper and Andrew and Connor. Groundoon's claws were hard as the rocks as they tore into those big black Ford Raptor trucks like Prince Harry did to Elon Musk's butt. The lieutenant said. Blood Renati looked at the Stedider Mon, and together they performed a team attack. Groundoon picked up the Blade Man and threw him at the team. Bad Man feels me bad man, and he tackles him with the forces of 12 Groundoon. The man's skeleton was reduced to rubles, and then Dave Stedider teleported to him and finished him off by swigging Voss water and spewing it forth as electricity, because there are electrolytes into tasty water, and that's how it works. Hold on. I need a second to recover some brain cells after that one. Holy shit. Mukul said, coming out from Mr. Stedider's large and mountain's booty cheeks, which acted as the perfect cover. Wait, who's speaking in this next one? Sergio, there's too many characters. I don't know anymore. This is Devi? Okay. If you can defeat the 28 members of Teams the Bad. Totes, dude, we did the thing. You're not too bad, Fafa Blad's day, are ya? Freeney. Freeney said, pulling out his Rick and Morty portal gun and shooting the portal at the thing, and the dudes went into the portal hoping nothing's bad would happens. Dave, Randy, and Michael stepped into what appeared to be a dormitory. Randy holstered his weapon, not wanting to draw undue attention, but was taken aback as Sonic the Hedgehog from the hit movie Sonic the Hedgehog 2020 with Jim Carrey walked by him. He kinda looks like a poker man, Dave Stenider said, still in his native dialect. What do you mean? I talk as normal as the you, Dave Strider said, confused. Grandune. Grandune. Dave. Stenider. Pokemon. Trainer. Randy said. Freeney said slash. Normal. Normal girl, DeVee asked. What is a girl gonna do to help us if she's normal? Freeney. Freeney walked over to speak with Sonic the Hedgehog. Trademark. I think this one should go to Michael. Sonic said before speeding away in a bluebird. Freeney led the party to the door of the dorm in question, and Randy knocked on it and was greeted by a girl of X age. She had X hair, X eyes, X clothes on, and was about to be XX tall standing next to him. She blinked a few times. Randy said, and she decided to let them in because the plot said so. She said, eyeing the eyes locked on the smoldering handsomeness that was Blade Randy. Dave's the diner Pokemon trainer.
You what? You what?
All right, on one, okay? 3, 2, 1. The what? Randy and Dave both exclaimed. Yep. Yes, that is the context that was necessary. All right. Randy asked. Are his trunks dark like a dick? Dave also asked. Freeney. Nickname said proudly. Bug. Freeney led Dave outside to get Nickname and Randy some privacy. Randy threw the megaphone onto the floor and started talking again normally. Nickname got her ear really close. You could... Jacob, no, you skipped the line. Nickname began unbuckling her buckles, unzipping the zips and snapping the snaps, but was confused by the sudden sounds of slurping of high-quality electrolyte-infused, overpriced water coming from in front of her. She pulled down the insert clothing here item she was wearing as she was in the process of taking it off to see Randy drinking a 500-ounce bottle of Voss. And let me tell you, dude, that shit was fucking terrifyingly big. Randy said, clearly not understanding the hints or the pushing. Nickname whipped and nay-nayed the Blade Randy out of her room with the force of 20 Groudons and grabbed Dave's Stiditer and brought him into the room and sat him down. Nickname gushed in amazement. Ma'am, I'm 12. I'm gonna have to decline. How many dog years is that? I just see your mouth moving, but nothing comes out. Is someone supposed to insert something there? I have no idea anything about you, and you're kind of cramping this style. Okay. Do you have any sort of fighting abilities? Nickname grabbed her bag and ran out the door, dragging Dave Stiditer along her like a child. Freeney said. Yes, that's unfortunate. Right after the Freeney quote, she said, Should I take... A voice called from the end of the hallway. Randy immediately drew his piece and fired without asking questions like a regular upstanding policeman. Oh shit, man, did I just get fucking political? The bullet stopped in its tracks after the man somehow quickly pulled out a black notebook labeled Death Note on it and wrote in it. Randy kept firing until he'd emptied his 70-round clipazine. Ow! The bullets froze in the air thanks to the man's abilities. Freeney exclaimed, all scared. Like, now wait, hold on just 1 second. I would like to clarify. Is one of Blade Randy's hands taken up by a megaphone that he is holding up to his face this entire fight? Alright, go ahead, Serge. That's Randy. Sure. Randy sad slash. This is a hex upon all mankind, Sergio. An ad? Yep, still waiting for Jacob though, so you should probably bring it back a little later. Yeah, I think we find that about this length of the fiction is what's necessary. Yeah, fair. I mean, you could have made it longer and then we could come back to it later, but I think this is a pretty good size where it is. Ouch. I think you did everyone too much justice. Yeah. Should we do a clap when we're all done? Okay. Shall we wait until Jacob gets back? Yes, his line is next. That's why we took a break. Nice. Also, should I didn't actually stop my OBS recording. Should I stop it now? Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. We can just cut it all out. That's what I thought we were planning on doing. Dang, bro. Poopy, stinky, poopy, pee-pee. I kiss yours. I think this, the length of this informs me, though, that I'm going to have to make mine a fair bit longer than it is right now. So I'm going to, fill up an hour. Hey, we're going to need you to help finish this bad boy up. But first we got to resync our audio, I think, right? I did not. Alright. But let me put it into words you can understand, the fourth. Freeney said, placing a hand on Randy's shoulder. Randy sank to his knees as his friend stood petrified, unsure of what to do. His whole life was flashing before his eyes, but he knew he had to make the most of his 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. He screamed and charged forth, his Randy fist ready to beat Dark Yagami's ass like no tomorrow. And suddenly Dark Yagami realized that there was actually nothing he could do in the face of Blade Randy's fury, but knew that he just needed to survive for 4 more minutes. But suddenly, a portal opened from the ceiling and a spiky-haired boy in weird clothing came through, and he struck with his sword, the ultimate blade, and Dark Yagami's head came tumbling from body. What the Randy looked as the Death Note flew in the air and was grabbed. The strange kid grabbed the note and incinerated it with a fire spell because we're going to do the Death Note 2017 rule v rules, bitch. Am I safe? And the kid nodded. Please, please, God, Sergio, give us quotation marks. All right. You won't be dying of a heart attack anytime soon, friend. I'm Sora, and using my shadow eyes, I was able to come to those trying to defeat Dark Trunks, right? Yeah, thanks, man. I'm just a little startled is all. Oh, you look cute. What with the sword on your back? Nickname Proc, then prodded the sword on the back of the Sora's back. On the back of the Sora's back. Hands off, the Shadow Blade lady, the kid said, putting the blade whipping on his back. Sorry, huh? Instagram name. I'm Dave Snyder, Pokemon trainer. Sora, it's good you're here now that all of us are gathered. We can defeat the true evil in the world. Can I take Sora back to my room to see his ultimate blade and maybe also the Shadow Blade? Sora waved her off. Sorry, nickname, said as it was her name and not a nickname. Right, name taken already. My name is Heart for someone else, bruh. I just want to get laid. Well, let's hope you all don't end up like Xavier. Ha 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 ha, everyone went. Xavier, who was that? Xavier was my friend in my world, but now he is dead like my sister. She threw me into a landmass, and it wasn't fun. I bet now Freeney, because we have everyone here. Does this mean we are ready to take the fight back to the Dark Trunks? Maybe. Find out never. Michael Thomas Freeney took over the multiverse and the world ended. Well, that's perfect, because nothing in Chain of Memories has any rules or consistency, so I think this is perfect. His own blood and flesh sister, he will murk with no mercy or regrets. All right. Rating time, I give it a negative 69 out of 2069. That's a very overly descriptive way of putting it, Jacob. Dang, bro. Yes. Shall I read the title of mine? All right. Coming to a podcast near you. Palpatine sterilizes the Ewoks on home video. Yeah. Ouch. Anyhow, shall we finish it up? Sounds good. Once I get done with my my two finals, I'll go to work on it. Oh, good, you're right. Matt. All right. Stop the recording.